People often think you're distant, unemotional, hard to read. They say you don't care enough, that you keep your heart locked behind invisible walls, that you disappear when things get too real. But what if the truth is something very different? What if you feel more than most people ever realize, yet you refuse to explain yourself to those who only want easy answers? You observe before you trust. You think before you react. And while others follow emotions, you follow truth. That doesn't make you cold. It makes you independent. The real problem is not that you lack depth. It's that your depth doesn't look like everyone else's. And because of that, you are often misunderstood, misjudged, and underestimated. Today, we're revealing the hidden nature of one of the most complex minds in the zodiac, and why the world never seems to fully understand Aquarius. Aquarius is often misunderstood because they don't follow emotional rules that most people live by. In a world that rewards loud feelings, dramatic reactions, and constant reassurance, Aquarius moves differently. They don't rush to explain themselves, they don't chase validation, and they don't perform emotions just to make others comfortable. This alone makes people uneasy. Most signs express care through closeness, words, or visible affection. Aquarius expresses it through awareness, loyalty to principles, and respect for personal space. And when people can't see love the way they expect to see it, they assume it doesn't exist. But that assumption is where everything goes wrong. Aquarius is not emotionally absent, they are emotionally selective. They don't open up to everyone, because to them, emotional access is sacred. It's not something you earn with time, it's something you earn with understanding. Another reason Aquarius is misunderstood is their need for distance. When emotions become intense, most people lean in. Aquarius steps back. Not to disconnect, but to process. They need space to think, to observe patterns, to understand what they're feeling without being overwhelmed by it. To outsiders, this looks like avoidance. To Aquarius, it's survival. They've learned early in life that being too available often leads to being misunderstood, controlled, or drained. So they build a quiet boundary, not out of fear, but out of self-respect. And then there's their mind. Aquarius doesn't just feel emotions, they analyze them, they question them. They ask why before asking how. This intellectual approach to feelings can make others believe they are cold or detached, when in reality, they are simply trying to understand the deeper meaning behind every emotion. The truth is, Aquarius lives in a world that few people are willing to enter, a world of ideas, contradictions, and inner conflicts that rarely get spoken out loud. And this is where the real story begins. Because beneath that calm, distant exterior lies a hidden nature, one that even Aquarius themselves struggle to fully understand. In the next part, we'll uncover what Aquarius truly hides and why it changes everything you thought you knew about them. The hidden nature of Aquarius begins with a contradiction that few people truly understand. They appear emotionally distant, yet they feel deeply. They value independence, yet crave meaningful connection. They seem detached from the world, yet carry an intense awareness of it. This is not confusion, this is self-protection. One of the most misunderstood traits of Aquarius is their emotional detachment. But detachment does not mean the absence of emotion, it means control over it. Aquarius learned early that emotions, when left unguarded, can be used against them. So instead of reacting, they observe. Instead of exploding, they withdraw. This creates the illusion of coldness. In reality, Aquarius feels everything, but chooses not to let emotions rule their decisions. They step back not because they don't care, but because they care enough to respond consciously rather than impulsively. Another hidden trait lies in how Aquarius loves. They don't love loudly. They don't chase. They don't beg for attention. Aquarius loves through understanding, loyalty to ideas, and shared vision. They want a partner who stimulates their mind, not just their heart. someone who respects their need for freedom without questioning their commitment. To many, this kind of love feels distant. To Aquarius, it feels honest. They believe love should expand you, not trap you. And the moment they feel boxed in, controlled, or emotionally manipulated, something inside them shuts down. Not out of anger, but clarity. Because freedom is not a preference for Aquarius, it is a necessity. This brings us to another hidden layer, the fear of losing their identity. Aquarius is constantly evolving. Their thoughts change, their beliefs grow. Their inner world is never static, and they fear relationships that demand consistency over authenticity. They would rather be misunderstood than forced to become someone they're not. That's why Aquarius often walks away quietly. No drama, no explanation, no second chances. Not because they don't feel pain, but because they've learned that staying silent preserves their inner balance. They disappear to protect what matters most, their sense of self. Then there is their mind, perhaps the most misunderstood part of all. Aquarius doesn't experience emotions in isolation. They connect feelings to patterns, ideas, and the bigger picture. They ask questions others avoid. They see systems where others see chaos, and this makes them feel different. Often lonely. Because when you see the world differently, you realize not everyone is meant to walk beside you. So Aquarius builds an inner world, rich, complex, and deeply private. A place where they can think freely, dream boldly, and exist without judgment. But few are ever invited inside. And those who are, never forget it. Because once Aquarius lets you in, they offer something rare. Truth without illusion. Loyalty without possession. And love without chains. But here's the part most people never see. Behind that calm mind and quiet strength lies an inner conflict. One that slowly pulls Aquarius in two different directions. In the next part, we'll reveal the internal struggle Aquarius battles every day, and why it shapes everything they do. Behind the calm expression and rational mind, Aquarius is constantly pulled in two opposite directions. On one side, there is a deep desire to connect, to be seen, to be understood without having to explain every thought or feeling. On the other side, there is an equally strong need for distance, for independence, for the freedom to exist without emotional pressure or expectations. This inner conflict is exhausting. Aquarius wants intimacy, but not at the cost of losing themselves. They want love, but not a version that demands constant reassurance or emotional performance. When relationships start to feel heavy, possessive, or emotionally loud, Aquarius begins to retreat, not because they stopped caring, but because they are trying to breathe. This creates a painful paradox. The closer someone gets, the more Aquarius feels the urge to step back. The more someone demands answers, the more Aquarius withdraws into silence. To others, this looks like mixed signals. To Aquarius, it's self-preservation. They often struggle with expressing vulnerability in real time. Feelings come in waves, and Aquarius needs space to understand them before sharing. But in a world that expects immediate emotional responses, their silence is often misinterpreted as indifference. Inside, however, the struggle is intense. Aquarius questions themselves constantly. Why do I pull away when I care? Why do I feel different from everyone else? Why does closeness sometimes feel like a threat? They don't want to hurt people. They don't want to be misunderstood. Yet they refuse to sacrifice their inner freedom just to fit someone else's emotional expectations. So they stand in the middle, wanting connection, yet guarding their independence with quiet determination. And over time, this conflict shapes them. It makes Aquarius emotionally self-reliant, mentally strong, and deeply selective about who they let close. But this inner battle also leads to something powerful, something most people never expect from Aquarius. because hidden beneath this conflict is a strength that only emerges when Aquarius fully embraces who they are. In the next part, we'll reveal the true power of Aquarius and why being misunderstood is actually their greatest advantage. The true power of Aquarius reveals itself the moment they stop trying to be understood. When Aquarius accepts that not everyone will get them, something shifts. They no longer waste energy explaining their depth to shallow minds. Instead, they turn inward, and that's where their strength grows. Aquarius sees what others overlook. They recognize patterns before they become problems. They question systems others blindly follow. While most people live in the present, Aquarius lives a few steps ahead, quietly preparing for a future no one else can yet imagine. This is why they often feel out of place. They aren't meant to fit into the world as it is. They are meant to challenge it. Their independence gives them clarity. Their emotional control gives them resilience, and their ability to detach allows them to make decisions based on truth rather than fear. Aquarius doesn't need approval to move forward. They trust their inner compass, even when it leads them down a lonely path. And while others seek comfort in belonging, Aquarius finds power in authenticity. This is what makes them visionaries, inventors, reformers, change makers. The same traits that cause them to be misunderstood are the very traits that allow them to transform everything they touch. But this power comes with a price, because when you walk ahead of the crowd, the path is often silent, and the weight of that silence can be heavy. In the final part, we'll uncover what Aquarius truly needs to feel fulfilled, and the one truth that finally brings them peace. Not everyone is meant to understand you, and that's okay. Some people are only meant to cross your path briefly, others are meant to learn from your presence, and a rare few are meant to truly see you for who you are. If you're Aquarius, your journey was never about fitting in. It was about staying true to your mind, your values, and your vision, even when the world misunderstood you. Your depth doesn't need explanation. Your silence doesn't need justification. And your independence is not a flaw. It's your strength. So if this message resonated with you, let it remind you of one simple truth. Being different is not a weakness. It's a calling. If you're an Aquarius, let us know in the comments. If you know someone who is, share this with them. And if you found value here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay with us, because there's always more hidden truth waiting to be revealed.